Welcome to day 9 of Vlogmas. We have been building the foundation of your automation system all week. But today we're building something that directly books your showings. And this is the listing inquiring follow-up workflow. That's a mouthful. Here's the scenario. Someone sees your listing online. They fill out the request more info form at 9 p.m. on a Saturday. You're having dinner with your family. You don't see it until Sunday morning. By then, they've already contacted 3 other agents and one of them responds at 9:02 p.m. You've lost. They've gone with someone else. Not because you're a bad agent, but because you were slow. So today I'm showing you how to respond within 5 minutes, automatically, every time. And then I'm going to show you the 7-day sequence that turns inquiry into a showing. But before we do that, let me hit you with some stats that should change how you think about the follow-up. Stat number 1, 35 to 50% of sales go to the vendor who responds first. Stat number 2, if you respond within 5 minutes, you're 100 times more likely to convert that lead than if you wait 30 minutes. Stat number 3 is after 1 hour, your odds of ever connecting with that lead drop by 90%. I want you to let that sink in a little bit. 90%. This isn't theory. This is data from millions of sales interactions. Speed matters. But here's the problem. You're not sitting at your computer 24/7 waiting for leads, right? That's what automation solves for you. If someone inquires about your listing at 9 p.m. and 5 minutes later they get an email with property details, and then 2 minutes after that they get a text saying, "Hey, saw you were interested in 123 Main Street. When can I show it to you?" You didn't do any of that. It happened automatically. Well, you do set it up the first time. So by the time that you wake up on Sunday morning, they've already replied and they've already scheduled a showing. That is the power of this workflow. It is so important. Okay, now let's jump over to Touchstone. The sequence that we're going to build is we're going to send property details within 5 minutes and schedule a showing call to action. We're going to send them similar properties and neighborhood info. Then we're going to send them a neighborhood deep dive and then a check-in. Are you still interested? Do you have any questions? And then finally, a little bit of social proof and some urgency. It'll be 5 touch points all in 1 week, all automated. We are going to start with a trigger in our automation that comes from a form. Now, you can create your own form. We're using a template here. So if you remember, where you need to do this is go to Sites, Forms, Templates, and you can add one or you can create your own. And if you add one, you can start from scratch. So that's what I mean by create your own or from a template. We're going to use the lead generation template form for this example. So now we're going to go over to automation. We're going to create a workflow from scratch. And we always want to start with a trigger. So people will have submitted that form. So we need to tell it which form we want them to submit. We're going to save that trigger and we are going to call this workflow listing inquiry follow up. Save it. So I like to tag things so I know where people are coming from. So I am going to tag this contact. If they have come through that form, I am going to tag them with listing inquiry, add a new tag there. So now they will be tagged. So where we are right now, they have submitted the form, the program tags them, and we want to send them an immediate email. Again, we go in, we add user, our full name. We're going to add user email. We're going to tell them everything you wanted to know about the address that they added in the form. We're not going to use a template for this. Then we are going to say hello, their first name. Thanks for your interest in this. This comes from the form. So remember, you can find those by going into here, contact, and then into those custom fields. What you need to know, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many square feet, the price. We also created one with the price. And then if you have a listing on another website, you can put the link in here. And then we want to give it 2 or 3 sentences about the key features, make this personalized and interesting for the specific property. Do you want to show it? I have showings available next week. Here is where you link to your calendar. So remember, you go out to your calendars, go into your calendar settings, you pick which calendar you want to actually give them a link to, and then you copy that. Then you come back here and then you paste in the link. Reply to this email. Let me know what works best. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. Instead of putting this here, you can put your name, or I think Oscar was helping us last time, but you can also add user signature. So this would be excellent if you've got all your brokerage information. You don't want to keep writing that over and over and over. You can just create your signature add it here, and then that's a signature for your email every time. And then we're going to save that. We're also now going to wait 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and then we're going to send a text message, because remember, text messages convert very well. And we're going to say, hey, this is, and then I would probably say with, and then add your brokerage here. I just sent you information on, and that's coming directly from the form that they filled out. Did you get it? I'd love to show you the home this week when works for you. And if it's easier, you could actually put your calendar link in a text message as well. Save that. Now they're getting a text message. So these are happening within 5 minutes of them submitting that form. Immediately they get an email, and then 5 minutes later, they're going to get a text message. Now we are going to wait 1 full day. If you remember, this is always the waiting time after the initial trigger, and we're going to send them another email, and we are going to give them some other homes that they might be interested that are similar to that address, and that address is coming from the form. And again, hey, their first name. You were interested in this. You thought you might like these. And then you give them the 3 different properties. Now, this is something that you will have to update every once in a while as your inventory changes. All of these are in the same area, similar price range, and available to show next week. But would you like to see any of them? Just reply or book a time here. Again, you're going to put your calendar link in there and then your name. This time will be Oscar. So we're going to save just to make sure that we've saved our work. Then we're going to wait another day. So remember, it's after the initial trigger. So we're going to wait 2 days. And then we are going to send another email. And then what's it like to live in custom location? So again, you can get to those custom fields there. So we go into contact, custom fields, and then here, all the fields that we added in that second form also are here because they are also custom fields. So in this one, we're going to say location preference. So what's it like to live in that location? And then we give them some information about that location. Now, if you remember, previously, we did an if this, then that, a conditional branch after these emails. Say you've sent these emails, you've sent these texts, and suddenly you're not hearing from them, and you want to just give them a little gentle prod to say, hey, if you're still interested, let me know. So you can go to the wait. Actually, before I do that, let me show you why it's important, and I have not done it here, but it's important to name these emails. So we'll call this one what it's like, and I'm going to show you why that was important. So here we want to do another wait. This time, instead of a time delay, we're going to wait on this event. And this is something I showed you how to do yesterday, but I'm going to show you again here. So email event, we want to see if in the what is it like email, this is why it's important to name it so you're not just going, oh, I wonder which email that was. And then we're going to select an event. So if they have opened it, so that means they're probably still interested. So this is waiting for the next step. They're waiting to see if they've opened the email. So then we're doing a conditional if or then. We go down here to email events and we say, okay, if that email event is opened, and it has to be based on this one, it will be based on this one because you have to set it up in the one before, then what's going to happen? So now we've got our conditions. If they have opened that, if the email event is opened, then they're probably still engaged or still interested. So we're going to write engaged. And then we're going to say, let's send them one more email. Actually, you know what? Let's send them a text message. Because we know text messages convert. Hey, I just wanted to check in. Are you still interested? What do you think about scheduling a showing? Oscar. So now we're sending them a text message saying, hey, I've given you this info. If you're still interested, let me know. We can book a showing. But you can also, if they have not done that, if they have not opened it, you can send them a gentle reminder text message and say, hey, I understand this may not be the best time right now, but if you would like to see the property at, and then we'll do that contact listing. I would love to show it to you. I think we just leave it at that. So it's a slightly different text message if they're interested or if they've only opened it but have not responded to you. So, say they have responded up here and you want to make sure they're not getting one of these messages, there is a way to do that too. So, if you go into settings and you hit stop on response, that will stop any responses going further if they have responded earlier. We save it. Of course, we know it's not published until or it's not live until we hit publish. And now our listing inquiring follow up is there. Now, let me tell you why this sequence converts. If you respond immediately while other agents are sleeping or busy or already replied, you win on speed. You add value, not pressure. You're not just saying, do you want to see it over and over and over and over? You're giving them similar properties, neighborhood info, contact. You're being helpful. You create urgency without being pushy. You automate the boring stuff. You are not manually sending these emails. The system does it. You only step in when they respond. But here's the key. Most agents send one email and give up. That's not what we're doing. You're sending 5 touch points over 7 days and you are staying top of mind. You're building trust. And that is why you book the showing. And that is why you win the listing. Okay, here's your homework for day 9. I want you to use the sequence I just gave you. Immediate property details plus SMS, similar properties, neighborhood info, check-in that's conditional. And if you don't know how, put in a comment and I will help guide you through. Every listing inquiry from now on gets this sequence. Now comment below, what is the fastest you've ever responded to a listing inquiry? And did speed make the difference? I want to hear your stories. Okay, I will see you tomorrow, halfway through. Bye.